during which we looked at sentence elements, subject, predicate, verb, complement, object, and adjunct. Today, we want to look at sentence types. Today, we want to look at sentence types. Sentence types. That is our topic for today. It's on the course online. In talking about sentence types, we have two categories. When we are talking about sentence types, we have two categories. We have one, sentence types according to function, and sentence types according to structure. We have sentence types according to function and sentence types according to what? Structure. So let us take sentence types according to function. Sentence types according to function. In talking about sentence types, we have two categories. We have two categories. Category 1 is sentence types according to function, and sentence types, category 2, sentence types according to structure. Function and structure. Function. Structure. So sentence types according to function and sentence types according to structure. Right. So we are taking the first category. Which is sentence types according to function. We have 4 types of sentences according to function. Excuse me. 4 types of sentences according to function. 1 declarative sentence. 1 declarative sentence. 2 imperative sentence. 3 interrogative sentence. 3 interrogative sentence. 4 exclamatory sentence. 1 declarative sentence. 2 imperative sentence. 3 interrogative sentence. 4 exclamatory sentence. Let us begin with 1 declarative sentence. Declarative sentences are also known as statements. Declarative sentences are also known as statements. Declarative sentences are also known as statements, because that is what they are. They are statements. They are statements. An example is, I like going to classes early. I like going to classes early. Two, I am an honest person. I am an honest person. I am an honest person. That is declaration, declarative sentence. There are statements. Then you have imperative sentence. Imperative sentence. Another name for imperative sentence is command. Imperative sentences are commands. Commands. Because that's what they do. They ask you to do something. They tell you what to do. They are commands. You don't call them imperative sentences. You call them what? Commands. Command. An example: sit down, stand up, leave the class, come in, go home. Shut the window, close the door. Shut the window, close the door. All these are imperatives. All these are imperatives. These are all imperatives. Then you have interrogative sentence. Interrogative sentence. You have interrogative sentence. You have interrogative sentence. You don't call them interrogative sentence, you call them questions. Questions, because that's what they are. They are questions. Where are you? Who are you? Where are you from? Where are you from? Where did you go? When will you finish your program? When will you complete your education? What is the duration of your program? Okay? So questions do have types. Questions do have types. For instance, we have polar questions. We have polar questions. Polar question, P-O-L-A-R. Polar questions. P-O-L-A-R. Polar questions. A polar question is a question that demands you to say either yes or no. The question that demands you to say either yes or no. A polar question is a question that demands you to say either yes or no. For instance, if you asked, do you like rice? Do you like rice? So you are either to say yes or no. But please note that in formal English rule, it is not just enough to say yes or no. Something has to follow. Do you like rice? Yes, I do. No, I don't. That's what you say. Not do you like rice? No. Right? Will you go to church on Sunday? Yes, I will. No, I won't. That's how you approach polar questions. So you take note of that. So we have WH questions. WH questions. WH questions. We have WH questions. In case somebody asks you, what are WH questions? All right? WH questions. Right? What? Why? When? How? Right? Which? Those are words with which we begin WH questions. What is your name? That's a WH question, right? How are you doing today? Where did you go yesterday? These are WH questions. Then we have tag questions. Tag questions. TAG. TAG. Tag questions. We have tag questions. These questions come after statements. Tag questions come after statements. Tag questions. AG. Tag questions. Tag questions are questions that follow statements. And they usually lead to polar questions. For instance, if you say, or if I say, I like school. I like school. Don't I? You have a pen. You have a pen. Haven't you? She has gone to the market. Hasn't she? Alright? And then if you are to respond, that will lead to polar questions. So the rule with tag question is that positive statements require negative tags, and negative statements require positive tags. Please note this and write it down. The rule with tag question is that positive statements necessitate negative tags, require negative tags, while negative statements necessitate positive tags. Let us give an example. You have not paid your fees. Is that a positive or negative statement? Negative. So what type of tag will we have? Positive tag. So you have not paid your fees. What will you say? Have you? Beautiful. Good students. You have not paid your fees. Have you? You have paid your fees. Haven't you? Right? Very good. So that is, and then if you want to answer it, you're already in the realm. You want to answer it, you're already in the realm of polar questions. Haven't you? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. Then you have exclamatory sentence. Exclamatory sentence shows emotions. Exclamatory sentence shows emotion, depicts emotion. Like joy, excitement, sadness, surprise, regret, and they are usually marked by the exclamation sign at the end of the sentence. Exclamatory sentences show emotion. They are used when expressing emotion, right? Like joy, like happiness, excitement, surprise, regret, fear, and so on and so forth. Anger. If somebody raises his voice at you, you are going to use exclamation sign. Like, go away. You cannot write that kind of sentence and put full stop. It needs exclamation sign at the end. Go away. Because the person is emotional while saying it. Or, oh, I am done for. Right? That's dismay. Expression of dismay. You cannot write those expressions without exclamation sign. All right, so those are the four sentence types under function. We are now moving on to sentence types according to structure. Okay. The explanation sentence. Now, the positioning of the explanation part does not always have to be identical, or sometimes. It depends. If you say, oh, I am done for, you could decide that oh is an expression on its own, then I am done for is an expression on its own. Otherwise, you can also make it one sentence. But when you get to the end, you have to have exclamation sign. Because as I said last week, exclamation sign is one of the terminal marks in English punctuation. So let us move on to sentence types according to structure. Sentence types according to structure. This is sentence types according to structure is based on the number of clauses that a sentence has. The number of clauses, whether main or subordinate clauses that a sentence has. Sentence types according to structure is dependent on the number of clauses, both dependent or independent clauses that a sentence has. Sentence types according to function depends on the function that the sentence performs or what the sentence does. Alright? But sentence types according to structure is based on the number of dependent or independent clauses in a sentence. That's what you need to note. So under sentence types, according to structure, we have one, simple sentence. Simple sentence, write it down. Simple sentence. 2, compound sentence. Compound sentence. Compound sentence. 3, complex sentence. Complex sentence. 4, compound complex sentence. Compound complex sentence. Compound complex sentence. 5, multiple sentence. Multiple sentence. Number 1 is what? Number 2? Number 3? Number 4? Number 5? Multiple sentence. So let us go to number 1. Simple sentence. Simple sentence. Simple sentence. A simple sentence contains one main clause and no subordinate clause. A simple sentence contains one main clause and no subordinate clause. A simple sentence contains one main clause or independent clause and no subordinate clause. A simple sentence contains one main clause and no subordinate clause. Example, Peter went to the market yesterday. Peter went to the market yesterday. Peter went to the market yesterday. Full stop. That sentence has one main clause and no subordinate clause. That's a simple sentence. It could even be as short as Jesus wept. I laughed. Okay? That is a simple sentence. One main clause and no subordinate clause. Then compound sentence. Compound sentence. A compound sentence has two main clauses and no subordinate clause. A compound sentence has two main clauses and no subordinate clause. A compound sentence has two main clauses and no subordinate clause. The two main clauses are usually joined together by a coordinating conjunction. The two main clauses are usually joined together by a coordinating conjunction. Coordinating conjunction. Examples of coordinating conjunctions are and, but, or, yet. Coordinating conjunctions. All right? A good example of a compound sentence is, I went to the market yesterday, but I could not buy anything. I went to the market yesterday, but I could not buy anything. All right? In that sentence, we have two simple sentences being joined together by the coordinating conjunction, but to give us what? A compound sentence. Two main clauses joined together by a coordinating conjunction gives you a compound sentence. I went to the market yesterday, simple sentence. I could not buy anything, simple sentence. You put them together. I went to the market yesterday, but I could not buy anything. Gives you what? Compound sentence. Peter swept the floor and Mary washed the plates. Peter swept the floor and Mary washed the plates. Peter swept the floor and Mary washed the plates. That's another example of compound sentence. It has two main clauses and then the coordinating conjunction is and. Okay? The coordinating conjunction is and. Peter swept the floor and Mary washed the plates. Now let us move on to complex sentence. Complex sentence. Complex sentence. A complex sentence is made up of one main clause and one subordinate clause. A complex sentence is made up of one main clause and one subordinate clause. One main clause and one subordinate clause gives you a complex sentence. A complex sentence is made up of one main clause and one subordinate clause. Example. I was so happy when my father visited me yesterday. I was so happy when my father visited me in school yesterday. I was so happy when my father visited me in school yesterday. In that sentence, I was so happy is the main clause. When my father visited me in school yesterday is the subordinate clause. Although I read very well, I did not pass the exam. Although I read very well, I did not pass the exam. Although I read very well, I did not pass the exam. Everybody say, God forbid. So in that sentence, I did not pass the exam is the main clause. It can stand alone on its own. Whereas the subordinate clause is, although I read very well. I have not seen Edith since he traveled to Lagos 2 years ago. I have not set my eyes on Edith since he traveled to Lagos 2 years ago. I have not seen Edith since he left for Lagos 2 years ago. Which is the main clause and which is the subordinate clause? I have not seen Edith is the main clause. The subordinate clause is what? Since he left. Okay. So I wanted to underline since in that sentence. Since. Since is spelled S-I-N-C-E. Since. Underline it. Move up to the sentence before that one and underline although, right? It was although, right? Underline although. And move on to the other one and underline, what was it? When. Now, what you've underlined, all that you've underlined are called subordinating conjunction. They are called what? Subordinating conjunction. They are called subordinating conjunction because they are the cause of why those clauses are subordinate clauses. Take them away, those clauses will not be subordinate anymore. Have you seen that? Take them away, those clauses will not be subordinate anymore. They are the words that subordinate those expressions. They say, although I read very well. That although is what makes that expression a subordinate clause. If it were not there, then it would not be a subordinate clause. So that's why they are called subordinating conjunction. Okay? And then we have compound complex sentence. Compound complex sentence. Compound complex sentence. A compound complex sentence is made up of two main clauses and one subordinate clause, or at least one subordinate clause. A compound complex sentence is made up of two main clauses and at least one subordinate clause. Please take note of that. A compound complex sentence is made up of one or two main clauses and a subordinate clause. I went to the market yesterday, but I could not buy anything because of the high cost of goods. Because of the high cost of goods. I went to the market yesterday, but I could not buy anything because of the high cost of goods. So, in that expression, I went to the market yesterday, is a main clause, one main clause, I could not buy anything, another main clause, because of the high cost of goods, subordinate clause. So in that sentence, you have a compound sentence followed by a subordinate clause, makes it a compound complex sentence. Edith washed the plates and Mary swept the floor when their mother left for the market. Edith washed the plates and Edith swept the floor and Mary washed the plate when their mother went to the market or left for the market. Edith swept the floor and Mary washed the plates when their mother went to the market. So that is another example. That's another example of compound complex sentence. Sometimes in examination, they might give you the sentence and give you options to identify the types, or they might give you the examples in options and ask the questions about the type that the examples represent. So you need to be alert. Then we have multiple sentence. Multiple sentence. Multiple sentence. A multiple sentence has three main clauses and no subordinate clause. A multiple sentence has three main clauses and no subordinate clause. A multiple sentence has three main clauses and no subordinate clause. A good example is, he came, he saw, and he conquered. He came, he saw, and he conquered. He read his books, wrote the exams, and he passed in flying colors. He read his books, wrote the exams, and passed in flying colors. Read his books, wrote the exams, and passed in flying colors. That will be your portion in Jesus' name. So we move on to writing, essay writing. The next topic on the course outline is essay writing.